So we hit the summer season here in Korea, and The Villainess is one of the first blockbuster movies released. Shown at the 70th Cannes Film Festival in May 2017, it was reported by Korean News that the movie got a 4-minute standing ovation at the end of the film. So you know this film off the bat has a lot of hype. So does it actually meet the hype? Is it a really good movie? Or does it disappoint? Let's find out. So this action thriller revenge movie stars Kim Ok-vin, and it starts off like this. A female girl trains in Yangbang, China, and becomes really proficient at, well, killing people. She goes to Korea and gets captured by the Korean intelligence agency. But rather than kill her, they tell her, hey, if you spend 10 years here training, then we'll let you free and you can live a normal life. So she accepts the deal, and this trained assassin begins training under the South Korean intelligence agency. And thus starts the story of The Villainess. Now, when you watch this film, it definitely pulls from other movies from the same genre, such as Old Boy, La Film Nikita, any John Bang Bang Woo film, and even a little bit from The Raid. And you can definitely feel that The Villainess definitely pays homage to these movies just from the first 10 minutes of the movie. The first 10 minutes of the movie has this awesome, incredible, awe-inspiring first-person view of this choreographed action scene. And it has this one-shot action feel that's really reminiscent of the Old Boy scene. And even further paying to the homage of these earlier films I mentioned, this film has a lot of gunplay, knife play, sword play, punches and kicks, and smashing people through windows. It's safe to say that this movie has a lot of action packed into it, and it's nearly 2-hour and 30-minute runtime. Now, the main actress in this movie is the very lovely and beautiful Kim Ok-vin. You've probably seen her in the drama romantic movie Thirst, or if you're a horror fan, Whispering Corridors 4, Voice. The next actor is veteran Shin Ha-kyun, and he's been a really big actor, especially in the 2000s. He's been in a lot of blockbuster hits, such as JSA, Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, Welcome to Dongmok-gol, as well as more recent movies, such as the 2012 hit The Thieves. He's known for his versatility and superb acting, especially in his older 2000 films. The next one is Sung-joon, and out of the main cast of 4 people, he's the youngest. I think he's about 26, 27 Western age, and he's more of a drama actor, and it makes more sense because he's starred in more dramas. One of the more popular dramas he's been in is Shut Up Flower Boy Band, as well as Can We Get Married? So it's fair to say that The Villainess is his biggest movie yet. And the last actor we have to talk about is actress Kim Seo-Hyung, and she's both a movie and drama star. She's acted in roughly about the same amount of titles in each. Like Kim Ok-vin, she's also in Whispering Corridors 4, The Voice, and she's also been in the 2013 hit movie, The Berlin File. As for dramas, she's been around since 2004, and her more recent drama is The Good Wife, which came out in 2016. Now, one thing you'll notice about this movie, as with big blockbuster movies, is that it has a big budget behind it. Now, you'll definitely see the money well put into the action scenes, and we'll talk about this a bit later. It's slated to be seen overseas, and especially many Western countries such as the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, and other countries as well. As for the director, Byung-gil is actually a new director. He only has 3 movies, including The Villainess. So the film before The Villainess was Confession of Murder, and before that was Action Boys. Now we gotta talk about the good of this movie, as well as the bad. So first, let's talk about the good. Now, there's a lot to like about this movie. If you're an action revenge thriller type of guy or girl, then this movie is definitely up your alley. Like, as I mentioned earlier, this movie has a lot of action scenes and is well choreographed. Like, you'll see blood everywhere. You'll see like bang banging. You'll see sword play. You'll just see people getting smashed left and right. It reminds me of yet another movie I didn't even mention in the beginning, John Wick. That movie just has the action scenes down pat. This movie is also split into 3 acts. The first one is when, she's training as an assassin in the South Korean intelligence agency. The second one is when she goes into a normal life. And the third one's like the finale. While in the first and third parts, there's a lot of action and violence. The second one has this like calm, romantic part. And I didn't mind it too much. I think it could have been a lot better. But so I would say this romantic second act is not really necessarily good, but it's not necessarily bad either. So yeah, I kind of feel like I'm neutral about it, but you'll definitely know what I'm talking about when you see this film. Like, you'll definitely see the second part where it kind of mellows out a bit. The acting by lead actress Kim Ok-vin is really phenomenal. She's actually the perfect person for this role. I couldn't imagine too many other female actresses taking that role. I felt that veteran actors Shin Ha-kyun and Kim Seo-Hyung played their roles very well as the side characters. Sung-joon was also not bad as the heartthrob, but sometimes I did see a little bit of his drama roots like pulling through in this movie, and I was like, okay, I guess, but he actually did a pretty good job in my opinion. And the movie was also pretty cool in that for a 2-hour and 30-minute movie, I was pretty much entertained the entire time. Like, the movie does have fluff, and we will go into that a little bit later. And I actually like the movie in the direction it was going. The environment, the cinematography, the setting was all top notch, as expected from a big budget movie. And it just really shows a testament of director Byung-gil's direction. Like, he does a really good job in his third film. And after seeing this film as well, I can definitely see why this movie was nominated to be one of the Korean films to be shown at the 70th Cannes Film Festival. In fact, I would say this, the action scenes in this movie are so good that if you just pulled out the story, I would still watch this movie for just people like fighting. Like, that's how good the action scenes are. Just pull out the plot and I'll still watch it. Just a testament how awesome the action and choreography scenes are. Some of the fighting scenes, I'm like, just blows my mind. Like, how did they do that? In the camera work where Kim Ok-vin like smashes this guy through a window and the camera follows him, the victim's face, it's like pretty incredible. Now, as much hype I had for this movie, there are some bad points. And a major bad point in this movie is like the plot itself. Now, the plot is shown through a lot of flashbacks going between the past and the present, and that's fine, that's cool. Like, a lot of movies use that plot device, but I felt a lot of it was little just kind of muddled and they could have polished it a lot better. I'm like, all right, I guess. And I felt some things weren't really explained too well. And I felt when the third act, when everything was starting to come together, the plot just became like convoluted. It just felt like the plot didn't mesh together as it should have. And you know, that's a real shame because this movie had a lot going for it. But then I felt like it relied so much on its action scenes that you might just forget about the story. When I was looking for the plot or the story, I was like, all right, I guess I get that. And okay, cool. Because this movie has a lot to keep track of, you know, like you got to find out like who the real killer is or like who's on whose team. And that's cool. But if you have a plot that's getting complex, then you gotta make it tie in at the very end. And I felt that this movie didn't do that. Another thing that threw me off about this movie is like the motivations of each character. Yes, the movie does hint at the motivations, but I felt that other than the main character, the motivations were a bit sketchy. And again, it goes back to the plot. Like, I was like, all right, so what's your angle on this? Why do you want to do this? So my final verdict on this movie, watch this film if you love action revenge thrillers, as well as if you want to see Kim Ok-vin kicking a lot of butt in this film. And even if you just want to see a blockbuster film, it's highly recommended. I know it has a lot of plot holes, but the movie is very enjoyable. Like I said in my good section, the movie had me entertained for the entire 2 hours and 30 minutes-ish of running time. So what did you guys think about the Villainess? Do you guys want to watch this movie? Have you seen this movie? I'd love to know your opinion in the comments below. And if you guys want even more Asian movie suggestions, download our free ebook, The 108 Asian Movies to Watch, by signing up to our email list below. And with that being said, I'm off to watch more Asian movies, but I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, guys.